Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, and I am also known as ETCG1 on this channel. And here on this channel I start things off with, hey, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. Please enjoy this digital confection that I found for you. As you might have noticed, we are outside the shop today. In fact, we're down in the creek, and I actually own this part of the creek. I've never owned anything like that before, a body of water, any of that stuff. I spent a lot of time as a kid playing in a creek and riding in tubes and all that kind of thing. Absolutely loved it. I don't think this creek is capable of that kind of thing, but I'm here for a very special reason, and that is to share with you just a few thoughts on wisdom. And in particular, what I'm talking about is this right here. And this, I've come to learn, is the feather from a great horned owl, as from what I understand. I did some research on the internet. I also posted a picture about this on my social media at one point. The reason why this is important is because the day I put my house up for sale, well, actually the day I put the sign out in front of my other house, the one that I sold so that I could move here where I am now and have this nice little piece of creek here, I looked out the front window and this was laying on the lawn right out in front of the window, just like you see it here. And it was kind of a moment, because like, this is pretty striking. If you see this just laying out on the ground, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be attracted to it in some way, and you're going to go to it. And me, I did, and I picked it up and I took a picture of it and I posted it on social media. And somebody that was an American Indian said that this was a great gift. And I would tend to agree with them because, as I said, this is not something you see often. Well, doing a little more research, I found out that the great horned owl is associated with wisdom. And hence, we're coming back to the topic of today's discussion. I have to say, from the moment that I found this out in front of my house to this moment now, where I'm about to release it back into the wild, has been a very trying time in my life. And those of you that have been following me on social media and stuff, you know, selling my house was extremely difficult. To try to get the price that we want, we had to come down considerably in order to sell it. We finally sold it, and before I even moved into the new house, I found out the water main was broken, and that was an issue that I had to deal with. So a brand new house with no water. Well, it has water, but not necessarily working water, like most people have working water. But that's not the point. The point is, there have been many struggles and many things that I've had to go through since finding this feather. And on the other side of that, I feel like I've gained wisdom. And that's the point here, is that you may not see the kind of things you're being taught in the time that you're being taught. And it may be extremely difficult and hard to see the other side of things. There is another side to things. There, at least in my experience, always is another side of things. Sooner or later, things turn around one way or the other. So when you're in the bad times, things turn around and become better at some point. And when you're in the good times, well, they're not always good. So you got to really appreciate those times when they're good. That's what I've learned. That's my wisdom. And in particular with this house, I've learned patience and that. So the great horned owl has brought me patience, and a lot of it. But unfortunately, you cannot keep any part of any of these birds, hawks, great horned owls, eagles, any of that. You cannot have or possess any part of them in the United States. And there's a very good reason for that, because these birds are protected, they're endangered, and I would like to protect them. I don't want to get in trouble for any of this, and I also feel like the lessons that I got from this feather, or the meaning that I'm taking from it, I've reached the other side of it. And now that I'm at the new house, I'm going to take this feather and release it into my creek and let it flow away and give it back to the nature from whence it came. Maybe corny, whatever, but it just feels like the right thing for me to do. But I wanted to share that with you today. And most of all, the takeaway from this video is you may be going through it, and people go through it all the time, and people come out the other side. So just remind yourself of that. And if you're given a little bit of wisdom, do what you can to take in as much as possible, so that the next time, well, you could take those lessons and, well, make the best of them. Let's put it that way. So take those lessons, make the best of them. Anyhow, it's time to put this guy back to nature and let it go. But I want you all to remember to be safe, have fun, and most importantly, stay dirty. And what I mean when I say that is just stick with it. Just keep going. You never know where it's going to take you. Now it's time to let this guy go.